Plywood presents the Empowered Readers. You guys good? All right, your 5 minutes begins now.
How many of you guys remember the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Yeah, show of hands. How did that intro go? Now, this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. And that's exactly what happened to us. 1 year ago today, when our daughter came home from her first day of kindergarten, visibly upset that some of her new friends did not know their sight words, their ABCs, or how to spell or read. And she asked us why. And we took it as a real teachable moment and explained to her that be it resources, time, ability, or understanding the importance of reading to their children, everybody's situation is different. This really upset her, and she challenged us as a family to help her find a way to make a change. And thus, the Empowered Readers Literacy Project was born. And we did some more digging, and we found out that illiteracy is a massive epidemic in our country. That's when we realized that this wasn't just a story about our life being turned upside down, but this was a story about stories. This was a story about authorship. This was a story about representation. This was a story about reading rituals and the adverse effects of illiteracy. And the sad thing is, for so many of these children, the end of their stories is already being written for them, despite the fact that they have no say in the narrative.
Let's talk about authorship. Did you know that only 14% of lead characters in children's books are minority characters? Did you know that only 6% of children's books are written by minority authors? Maybe, just maybe, kids have a hard time getting excited about books when they don't see themselves represented, because representation does matter. Now let's dig into these illiteracy statistics. 68% of Atlanta public school students cannot read proficiently at the end of 3rd grade. 2/3 of students who cannot read at the end of 4th grade will end up in jail or on welfare. 85% of juveniles in the court system are functionally illiterate. But it gets worse. Some prisons actually forecast the number of jail cells that they're going to build in the future based on the number of children who are behind the reading curve in the 3rd grade. 3rd grade. Talk about a premature ending to someone's story. The Department of Justice even recognizes this problem and states that the link between academic failure and delinquency, violence, and crime is welded to reading failure.
So we decided that we wanted to replace reading failure with reading rituals and help get kids excited about getting lost in adventures in books, diverse books where everyone is represented, and help give them voice and help them change their narrative and write the end to their own stories. Which brings us back to our daughter, Salah, who is leading the way, coming up with solutions for change. She wrote her own kids' book, Penelope the Pirate Princess, to give voice to other kids like her. She encouraged us to start the Adventure Time Readers Club so that we could bring diverse books to Title I schools. She challenged us to create pediatric adventure bags so we could get books in the hands of children at birth so families could start to build reading rituals early. And she gave us a goal to give away 1,000 books. That's what I said. Because books are the bridge to opportunity.
Now, 2 years ago, my husband and I had no idea of any of this. We had no idea that illiteracy was an epidemic in our nation. We had no idea that prisons were forecasting the number of jail cells based on a reading test failed by an 8-year-old. We had no idea that not knowing how to read in 3rd grade was the gateway drug to a life of hopelessness. That is until our daughter, Salah, brought it to our attention. A kindergartner who had a heart so big she wanted to fix the problem, and her heart transformed our heart, and we hope that she can transform your heart.
2,000 books. Say it again. That's what she wants us to give away. That's 2 million books in adult terms. Trust me, I've done the math 2 times. Never in public, but I'm pretty sure it's correct. But 2,000 books. It's a big goal, but it's an even bigger dream. And it starts here tonight with all of you. Tonight we launch her campaign, the March to 2,000 books. And we need your help. We need 1,000 people to just donate $20 to kick off this magical campaign. So my question to you guys is, will you help us? Will you be part of this story, our story, her story? If so, please pull out your phone and text the words MARCH to the number that you see on the screen. And together, we can help Salah's dream come true. Thank you.
I love you guys. Great job. We got this from you. All right, Jen's going to ask you a follow-up question.
Hey, thank you. It sounds like Salah is going to be up here not too long.
Yes. We have to report to her.
With programs like this, it takes a lot of partnerships. What on either the end of collecting books or getting the content made and then distributing them do you have already in place?
So we started working with a program called the Pajama Program, which was started up in New York, and they actually came up with this Goodnight Bill of Rights to make sure that every kid had a pair of pajamas and books at home. It's one of the programs that we've started to partner with to help us kind of forge our way into it. We've also been partnering with other book publishers to get the books that we need so that we can get them in the hands of people. But we are always open to more partnerships. So if there's people out here who want to partner with us and help us out, talk to us.